exchange of energy. Okay, everything is an exchange of energy. When you go on your job, your work, you're exchanging your energy for this paper money, for this paper money. And then you then take the paper money and you exchange the paper money for food, for clothes, for shelter, for services, for a vehicle. Okay. When you have sex with someone, you're exchanging energy. Anything you do, you are exchanging energy. So now you have to ask yourself, how can I keep some of my energy and not dissipate so much of my energy um, for so little of a payback? Okay. Um, People always bitching and complaining about how they work so hard. They don't have time for their offsprings and this, that, and the third. And it just baffles me that um, instead of trying to solve that issue, what people will normally do is actually figure out a way to dissipate even more energy and to figure out a way how to spend even less time with their offsprings, meaning an individual will go from paying a low rent, working one job, whatever, having just amount of time to spend with their offsprings and loved ones, to then having a job and going to school and working another job. Now they have absolutely no time for their offsprings. Okay, which I get. You're trying to go to school to make to like quote unquote better yourself and all of this and all of that. Ultimately, people, I don't know how else to prove it to you. It should be common sense. Okay, ultimately, the way to make wealth is not by working. You can never work yourself to being wealthy. You can never work yourself to being wealthy. You can never work yourself to having enough money. It can never happen. The solution is through land, through investments, through assets. Okay, that is how you become wealthy. Okay, because what happened is the more money you make, it's just a bigger house you're gonna buy. It's just a nicer car you're gonna drive. It's just the more food you're gonna eat. It's just the more restaurants you're gonna go to. Let's be honest about it. That is what's gonna happen. But when you have investments in assets and you have that mindset, it's the more assets you're gonna be looking to buy. When I started buying assets, that's all I could think about now is buying assets. What's the next asset I'm going to buy? Okay, I'm not looking for the next nice restaurant I'm gonna eat at, the next fancy car I'm gonna drive, the next biggest house I'm gonna have. I'm thinking about the next best asset that I can have. Okay, right now you can buy an asset for as little as $100 to $300 down, and as little as 20 something dollars, 30 something, 40 something, 50 something dollars, up to $500, whatever you want to spend per month. Okay, and that asset is land. Okay, now imagine buying yourself a piece of land for one, two, three, four, five, six, couple $1,000 down, and paying 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, you know, 70, 80, 100, 2, 3, 4, $500 a month, and you live on that asset. Personally, if I was to start my life over again, I would buy a piece of land, right, using the system that I have. It would cost me about $100, $200 to put down on that land. I'd be paying about $50 a month on that land. I would live on that land. I would take my time and fix that land up. And I could do that working a minimum wage job. I could actually do that working a minimum wage job because a minimum wage job, and I'm not encouraging anybody to work a minimum wage job, but I'm just showing you how you can work a job or work part time actually doing something and that way you have more time for your loved one and offspring. But I would work, find something work 20 hours a week, pay me a minimum of a couple $1,000 a month, or even $1,000 a month, right? $1,000, let's say $1,000 a month. A couple $1,000 a month will put you at $24,000, which is what the average individual makes. About 80% of America make less than 40,000 a year, right? And about 60,000 of them make about $24,000 a year, right? A couple thousand a month. If I'm paying a $50 a month note on my land and probably paying another few $100s a month note on my cabin, which I can show you guys how to purchase cabins, rent to own also. That's around $350. I could pay off my note on my land and my cabin in about 4 years maximum, about 48 months. So within 4 years, I have two assets paid off: the land and the house. Okay, the land and the cabin. All right, that's paid off. That is an asset. Okay, now let's usually it's gonna go up in value because within that time I've been fixing up the land, landscaping, doing all that stuff. But let's just say it didn't go up in any value. I still have an asset that's worth some type of money that I could get my money out of that I put into it. And I can sell that asset, right? And go buy something nicer, bigger, and keep doing that every 4, 45 years. Okay? And if I keep doing that every 4 or 5 years, it won't be long. It won't be long. It won't even take 10 years, okay, to become a millionaire. To become a millionaire. All right? Now, I've been doing this, what I'm doing now since 2017, and I've been going hard in the past few years. So I'm about my 6 year mark. I'm about at my 6 year mark. Now, I should have been further along than what I am now, but right now I'm probably sitting about $180,000 in equity on my properties, right? Actually more to be honest with you, but I'm just being modest and conservative with the number, but actually more with the price of land going through the roof, absolutely going through the roof. But anyhow, there's no way in the world I could have saved that much money working a regular job. There's no way in the world. Okay? I've been averaging, be honest with you, probably for the past 20, 25 years, I've been averaging about $30,000 a year. That's what I've been averaging, about $30,000 a year. I've had years where I made no money, okay, maybe $5 to $10,000 a year, and I've had years where I've made $70,000, $80,000 a year. Okay, I had a year I made $300,000 a year. Okay, for that one year. So when I add up the years and the money I've made, I average about $30,000 a year. But there's no way in the world, unless I just absolutely saved every penny, every dime, that I would have accumulated this much wealth of around 100, let's just call it a couple $100,000 in equity in my properties. There's no way I would have accumulated this much wealth had I just been working. I just wouldn't have been doing. I would have to save pretty much every penny outside of paying my bills, which we all know is not happening. Is not happening. Any extra money we are going to spend on any little extra thing we can do to make ourselves feel good, right? But what I did was I chose to take my energy, yes, go do a work and make some money. But I took that money, which essentially is my energy, and I parked it in assets that's going to multiply my money which is essentially multiplying my energy without me having to work, okay? Without me having to work, all right? So this gives me more time with my family. This gives me more time with my offspring, my loved ones, those that I want to be with. And I'm trying to tell y'all, you don't have to make a lot of money to buy land. Stop thinking, oh, when I start making more money, when I become a truck driver, when I finish school, when I do this, I'm gonna buy some land. By the time you do that, the land is just keep going up and up and up. Your best bet is to lock it in now, lock the price in now. And by the time you do finish school or do make more money, it won't even be relevant because you be sitting on so much equity in your land. The extra money you are making on your new job or whatever you're doing, you can blow that money. To be honest with you, you could blow that money. Okay, right now I could honestly just keep paying on my properties and blow whatever extra money I make. And essentially, once my properties are paid off, which is one of my strategies. Essentially, I'm gonna leverage the properties and build houses on them. Okay, but the position that I'm in right now, after paying my pertinent bills and my paying my land notes and stuff, I could just blow whatever money. It doesn't matter how little money I make or how much money I make. As long as my assets are paid for and being paid off within 48 months, 72 months, okay, which is what I recommend. Any money after that, I could blow it. I could blow the bag, all right, because my assets are building equity. And even if they're not building equity, by the time I finish paying for them, I have built-in equity. I have built-in equity, okay? It's like a savings account, essentially. It's like saving money. You're forcing yourself to now save money. All right. Anyhow, guys, I just want you to think about how you're dissipating your energy for paper money to go pay rent, to essentially park your money in things that's not bringing you assets, that things that's not multiplying your energy. You need to put your energy into something that's gonna automatically multiply your energy for you without you going to have to work to multiply your energy. All right? Buy land, go live on your land, live simple, pay off your land, pay off your cabin or whatever dwelling you put on your land, sell it, and do it again and keep doing this and doing it and doing it. I guarantee you, with the way things are now, you can do this every year. To be honest with you, you could do this every year and keep multiplying your assets, right? But even if it takes you 5 years, I promise you, within your sixth, seventh, eighth year, 10th year, you're sitting on over $1 million using my strategy. Hit me up. My name is Dragon Manifest. My phone number is 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. And I will show you how to build your assets, how to build your wealth without you having to keep working like a slave, exchanging your energy, which is all they want. These are energy vampires. It was with slavery, where it's just straight up slavery. Now the type of slavery it is, still using your energy, but to get this paper money to exchange it to pay taxes and rent and stuff, which essentially what they want is for people to be productive. So getting this paper money is just making people productive. Look at all these people going to work. Look at this traffic. All these people going to work, rushing to work to go dissipate their energy. The slaves going to work. Slaves going to work, going to work. All these slaves going to work, right? And it's just sad, man, because every time I'm in the city right now, I'm in Fayetteville, and every time I get up in the city and I just see all these people just going to work and work and work and work and dissipating their energy. Like people don't even realize you're still slaves. As long as you're dissipating your energy and then taking your paper money and buying foolishness and consumerism stuff, not parking your money in assets, you're definitely a slave. Okay, even if you're not doing anything, if you're like like the parable in the Bible where it talks about the people with the talents, how one had the talent and they buried it, another one had the talent and they multiplied it. Okay, a lot of you, that's how you are. You have the talent or you have the resources, the money, but you bury it. You're not putting it in anything that's gonna multiply it. And then some of you do take it and multiply it. Okay? And then some of you waste it, you just wasteful. Okay? Anyhow, if you wanna keep working, if you think getting a better job and doing all of this is a waste for you, go ahead and do your thing. By the time you work for 4 or 5 years, excuse me, by the time you go to school for 4 or 5 years, a better job, in those 4 or 5 years, I be done made $100,000. Be honest with you, way more than that. Way more than that. Knowing what I know now, way more than that. Okay? So that's why I keep telling you guys, by the time you go to school for 4 or 5 years to try to make $100,000, I be done made $1 million. I be done made $1 million. By the time you go to school for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to become a doctor, to make $200,000 a year, three, four, and $500,000 a year, I be done made that in 1 year. I be done made that in 1 and 2 years. All right. Anyhow, once again, please like, subscribe, share. 754-229-0940. All right. My consultation is only $250. It's for 1 year. And I've broken it down to $50 a week for 5 weeks, $25 a week for 10 weeks. You get one-on-one consultation, and also we chop it up in my mastermind group. 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. Talk to you later.